And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome into Black Friday.
Yeah,
with Odie.
And did I not just mess up?
That's
Ricky,
all rumor.
I'm sorry. And yes, red for Fridays. Remember, everyone deployed, and here I am in a brown and tan shirt, and I could kick myself right now. Wednesday was a heck of a day. Yesterday was a busy day, and I woke up this morning. I didn't even know it was Friday until I just looked up and saw that.
This is it's been a week.
I hate days off.
It messes you up on what you're doing.
Yes, it does.
Now,
Man.
as we're beginning today, there's lots of news going on. Our first thing that we want to throw up here, and we're going to talk about this first, leading into what has happened in Lauderdale County, is you're just finding out news that we've had murder and we've had a deputy shot in the early morning hours. Let's go to where the murder happened last night first, Odie, as let's pull this up, and then we'll look at the map and show you how and where all of this is. As we come here, Highway 495, in the 9,000 block of Highway 495. Now, for all of our sleuths that know this address, something happened here a few years ago in this same area. Lauderdale County deputies would be called to the scene last night. Coroner was on hand. I even believe Stella accompanied the new coroner out there, as she will be taking over in January, to where a male subject was found deceased. He had been shot multiple times. A female fled the home and ran to a neighbor's house with 2 gunshot wounds, Odie.
Wow.
At least 2 gunshot wounds. She has been transported to a hospital out of town for medical care to treat a little bit better with these type of trauma wounds. The male subject was pronounced deceased at the scene, and then the shooter fled the scene. Now, what we're understanding, this is some type of domestic dispute. We won't go into the guessing of what happened. Do we have an idea? Yeah, we do, but we can't prove that, so we won't get into all of that. But we do know that one person has died. Let's look at this, of where this happened is. We'll look at this, Odie, on a map here. As we come out of Meridian on Highway 493, right here, this is where the Bailey store used to be, where Leon Bailey's store was. If you take a left there on Highway 495, come on up and past the church, and then get past Fellowship Baptist Church. That sits right here. Here's the cemetery. Right in the curve by Dirty Deeds is where this would take place, here at this home. Gunshots would ring out. Someone would be shot. We would learn that someone died from this. Very serious. And again, the suspect fled. And
That is terrible. You know, good community that's normally quiet. You know, you hate to see that type of activity come out towards the county, but at this point, we don't believe that this was a random. Well, we know it wasn't random.
No, it wasn't.
It was an isolated event, but still, someone died.
So I debated at 4:15 after I was getting all this, do I wake Ward up? I know he hadn't had much sleep because I knew he was at the scene. So I waited to 5 minutes to 5 to send him a text to bother him, and he answered me. And as we were talking, the next events would start to unfold. We would learn that a deputy would be in pursuit of a vehicle that matched the description from what possibly was from the murder last night. Let me back out on this and take you here. Let's just look at how this would turn. Out of Meridian, look at this map. Out of Meridian, here's Highway 493 here. This is where the Last Chance Tobacco is. They would come out, and as they would pass the old location of what's the metal building on the right there in the curve?
Little Acre.
Little Acre. and turn left on Windsor Road. This would go on up, cross over, and would turn on Barn Hill Road here. This is where the chase would go. Down this road it would go. Then here's a dirt road right here called Dabbs Road.
Yep.
The chase would turn left on this and then go up to Fellowship Road here. Pretty common traveled area there.
Is.
It would go up, and instead of going on Brown Hook Road, it would go straight north on Fellowship Road and then take a left onto A.C. Brown Road, and along about right in here, the 8,000 block, if I remember, right along in here is where the car would stop. And as Ward was dealing with what he was doing, all this was unraveling. And then we would hear gunshots were fired. Didn't know who, what, or how.
Yeah.
A few minutes later, I spoke with Billy Solly, and he said the subject had been taken into custody, and the deputy was being rushed by a personal car. They met an ambulance, and he was rushed on into a local hospital for care. As we would get more details on this after he arrived at the hospital, he was struck in the pelvic area. I think he was hit maybe once or twice in a bulletproof vest, and of course that didn't affect him. That doesn't feel good, from what I understand.
No, not at all. But you're not penetrated with a bullet.
Right. He is recovering. Thank heavens. Miracles do happen, and lucky on this. Now, as we learn from this, I was fully expecting the subject not to have walked away from it, but he was taken into custody, not hit from what I understand, may have been taken for medical examination, I'm not sure, but he was not struck by any bullets. We're not sure at this point in time until we speak back to the ship, because all this was happening so fast. As I spoke with Billy and we were back and forth with Ward on this, was it contact? I don't know. It could have been. You know, as you go to arrest somebody, a gun comes out. It could have been that way. We're not 100% sure, but we do know that he was taken into custody, and every deputy, every law enforcement, Meridian Police Department stepped up, blocked roads as they rushed him for medical care, and he will be okay. Now, I think he's going to get a couple days off. I feel that's coming.
Just a few. You hope to think that guy sitting back going, look, they obviously know who I am because they've got me pulled over. I'm sure the lady knew who he was and told who he was.
Right.
And here I just shot a deputy. If I go on, it's going to be worse. Do I just say, I've messed up and take what I've got coming?
He fled.
He fled, but they've got him.
Yeah.
Community is safe. He's no longer out on the streets at this time, but prayers go out to our deputy, his family, the entire sheriff's department, and every law enforcement officer, along with all the other ambulances and all that responded to him with the medical team at the hospital. Definitely need prayers this morning for everyone involved.
We could have been telling you a totally different story this morning of what happened. And it deals with training, of knowing what to do and how to do it, and everybody that was involved in this responded accordingly to training of how to get somebody to the hospital during an arrest with someone who's done something wrong. I fully expected the suspect not to walk away from that. I don't know how many deputies were on the scene when the shots were fired. There's a lot of things that go into this.
And that training, and that's why everybody trains so much. It's not training so you know what to do. It's training so you have this as second nature.
Yeah.
So when you have to use that training, you're not thinking about it. You're acting because you've done it so many times that you automatically know what to do. And that's why training is so important. And I know the sheriff's department's always training.
I've attended a couple of trainings that you've been a part of as out at the Meridian Airport, and when they do their training if there was an accident. Yeah. And local hospitals do this a lot, and also nursing home facilities of what do we do if something were to go bad? And they train for all of this from driving.
And we have to.
Yes.
We're mandated to do so many full-scale exercises. What we do. Some of the things are mocked.
Yes.
Of course, we didn't crash an airplane have a airplane on fire, but
You put a bucket over there and go, that's the play.
Well, we pulled a school bus over there.
Yeah.
Put smoke in it, put people in it, and respond to it. So we try and make it as real as possible. And it gets those juices flowing too.
And someone wanted to know if anybody had passed away in any of the shootings. Yes, someone was murdered last night on Highway 495 in the 9,000 block of Highway 495 in a curve there to home. A lady was also injured, and she was taken to the hospital, if you're just kind of tuning into all of this. But one person did die from a murder last night.
So prayers for all of them as well.
Yes.
Man,
It's a tough one.
Yes, Thanksgiving. Let's give some thanks.
All right, we'll be right back as we continue this early Friday morning. It is Black Friday. Lots to talk about, lots to discuss this morning as we begin this Friday together. Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
Call Patrick Allen Companies.
You buy. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. And as I learned last night, as we were eating leftovers, did you know that Big Lots is going to be closing in Meridian?
No.
After Christmas is what I'm being told, that it will close its doors forever. And
Well, maybe the prices will finally go down.
it may be.
I mean, they had a few good things.
Yeah, but another retail business leaving our area. We hate to see that. Of course, we've lost several things. As we go back over and you look at crossroads of things that have come and gone from there, you're not going to be able to purchase anything with electronics in Meridian, Mississippi anymore. It just is not here.
It's not, and I don't know if it's not just people shopping or if it's the amount of rent. I know a lot of that rent over that way is just astronomical.
Yeah.
We don't have the money here that we used to have here. We are you can go ahead and get mad if you want, but we're a federally funded, free money community. And we're not going to get industry here because there's nobody that wants to work. Those who want to work have a job. Those who don't have a job are on a government take. The federal check is coming. And so there's nobody available to work. The only way you're going to bring stuff in here is if you stop writing federal checks for people to sit at home. We have zero workforce available in our area. They can only make so much money before they lose their benefits. I promise you, they're not going to lose their benefits. Too many out there getting a free ride.
It
don't
is.
have to work, so why do it? And that's what's happening to our community.
Industry is what we need.
Industry is what we need.
We get a lot of restaurants, but we would certainly like to have more industry rolling here. North Mississippi seems to get it. Hopefully there will be a change in this. And that's what we always keep our fingers for, cross for. Some of the things. Our next, so let me go here, Odie, and there's no other way to show this other than go here and just point this out as one of the things that we put in last night. We had a robbery in Lauderdale County last night. Armed robbery is another store is knocked over, and we're going to see more of this as we go into the holiday season. So if you work convenience stores, if you work any retail outlet, keep your eyes peeled at all times. This would happen around 10:30 last night. Highway 39 before you reach Marvin's. It would be the old super stop, which is called now Break Time, that's on the right next to Nick and Al's.
Yeah, that big one there.
Here we go. This is what happened last night. A male subject would enter the store. He was about 5'10", a black male wearing a black and white hoodie. He had on black and red shoes and ran in the store, robbed it, and would leave on foot. To my knowledge, as of this morning, the subject is still on the run. I believe that he ran behind the store toward the apartment complex in that area. Again, has not been found. We do hope that this individual is brought to justice. But, you know, we've had Ulta, we've had this one, we've had Exxon gets it a lot down on 19.
Oh, boy, they do. They really do.
So we say all of this in it, and when I say that, watch this. Over the next few weeks, at closing time, check your store. Make 20 minutes beforehand. Make some rounds. Have a couple people with you. Make sure no one's hiding somewhere behind a rack, a bathroom, in a corner, a storage room.
It's not going to be long. That store is going to be locked. And if you want something from the inside, they've got to let you in. And you can come in. The door's going to shut behind you. It's going to lock. You're going to have to be sitting there in a video camera on you with no mask, no nothing before you can go in. It's going to be so hard to go shop at a convenience store in the next couple of years if we don't get a handle on this.
You know, Odie, I was about 10 years old, and I'll never forget this, and I went to California to visit some kinfolks. And you'd go in a convenience store, and they had to hand you the items. You would tell the person behind a glass booth what you wanted, and then they would hand it to you. I didn't understand it at 10 years old, but I get it now. It took 40 years from California to Mississippi to reach, but it has reached us now. Yeah. Is that going to be the convenience store of the future here?
It's going to be part of it, yeah. No cash, no nothing. Another reason to go to a cashless society, which would be devastating to each and every one of us. But, you know, our freedoms are being took away just a little at a time, and we're allowing it to happen because we're allowing too many people to get away with anything they want to do. Man, it's just, I hate to see what my grandkids are going to have to deal with when they get.
Well, they're hoping their inheritance is big from you.
I reckon so. Maybe I'll tell them that you can have it if you move.
Terry says she gets her Social Security, 69, and still working hard every day. Salute. It does take that. It is just about impossible for someone to make it just off Social Security these days. A loaf of bread, a gallon of milk and eggs will eat up $50 nearly at this point. Maybe not quite 50, but y'all know what I mean by that. That's an exaggeration, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it's look, you know, you talk about interest rates and how interest rates went up to 7%.
Yeah.
After it's come down.
It was at 2%, wasn't it?
It was at 2%. Now, the way it went up and the way we ended up being at 2% was because of the crash, and now we're up at 7 and 8%. Yes, it hurts everything because we're not used to it. It should have never went down to 2% anyway. It should have always stayed up a little high because people saved money. They didn't go borrow money every single time they turned around because the interest rate was up. But those of us who want to save a little money and put a little money back to pay for us and have money when we retire, we were actually making money. You put money in the bank now.
What's interest rates on that? Not much?
3%. So, I mean, you're not making anything. So you've got to charge interest rates, but they've allowed 0% interest, 2% interest for so long that people got tied up in these home loans saying, look, we can make it. We can do this. We'll have $500 left over. We'll be good. We can live on $500 a month. interest rates shoot up, and it's like, ooh, our house note just went up $600. So now we're $100 in the hole.
Yeah,
what do we do?
that affects it. That balloon payment. Woo!
Yeah.
Run from them.
And
Run from them.
Do you now? And then what happens to your housing market? Now it's going to crash.
We got more to come as we bring in this morning there. Lots of comments on that subject there. That's a hot button. We had Barbara say that she just retired at 77, having to work longer to be able to make it there.
Worked till she was 76. Hadn't even been out 77 years old and hadn't even quit work for a year yet.
Had somebody say that in Birmingham they've had cages in the convenience stores for years. Birmingham is pretty rough over there now. Oh, boy.
Y'all go over and see what it looks like because it's coming here. It's on the way.
That's the way things happen. We'll be right back as we carry on a Friday morning. It is Black Friday as we begin this together. Y'all put a smile on. We're going to get through this one way or another. And blessings as our Lauderdale County Deputy is going to be okay.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn.
Woo!
He like to make me spit my coffee out.
Well, I mean, he did it.
We got to bring what most Americans are going.
What are y'all talking about?
Close your eyes, Elmer. Don't look at the TV. Dolly made her appearance last night at halftime, performed at the Dallas Cowboys game for halftime entertainment. She came out on stage and everybody went, "Oof, is she not beautiful?" As we go to Daily Mail for one of the pictures here, this is Dolly. She dressed as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader and performed.
Looked like
And-
Miley Cyrus dressed her.
It did. But boy, did that outfit not fit her extremely nice.
Yeah.
And let me remind y'all, Dolly, look, here's a full shot. Dolly is 77 years old. 77. Is she not gorgeous?
Would y'all get my great grandmother down?
I almost want the poster.
Yeah.
We'll add that next to Farrah.
I will have a whole wall back there before long.
I'm telling you, and Dolly, what a fine lady she is, as we joke about what she done, but an excellent job there. She came out and sang it. She sent them it's rave reviews of everybody that watched this. 9 to 5, she sang that. We Will Rock You.
Yeah, no, she did throw a "We Will Rock You." Somebody texted me and said, "You seeing this?" And I'm like, "No." And I flipped over and said, "Now I am."
I missed it.
So I rewound as much as I could and
It
sat there and watched it. I was like, wow.
it had already happened when I found out about it. And she doesn't look bad as a Salvation Army woman either. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that.
I'd probably give her $1.
I think I'd donate to that fund also. There's Dolly collecting for the Salvation Army.
Now, that's a great fund to give to.
It is.
And they're going to be out and about. So see, when you see the kettle, give some money and help them out.
One last look before we move on to our next subject.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Dolly.
You know, that brought a little pet peeve. I needed something like that last night on my little. Here it is. Do you know who Robert D. Rayford is?
Robert D. I know this name.
Golly, I am gonna make somebody mad here.
Robert D. Where do I know this name from?
He was on the John Boy and Billy show.
Okay.
He's the one that called kids in the restaurant little crumb crunchers.
No, I don't know anything about all that.
He said, don't take kids to a restaurant. Kids don't belong in a restaurant.
Why do you say that?
And because kids nowadays, like you try and eat at a restaurant, you got 3 or 4 kids. Each one's got an iPad. each one of them sitting in there with the volume on high, and you're sitting in there trying to eat and pay attention to who you're with, and you've got about 5 or 6 groups of people in there, and everybody in there is listening to 5 different cartoons that ain't even at your table. And it's like when they got through eating and got up and left, it got so quiet. Everybody in there was looking at each other and was smiling. People we never saw was happy at being in there. It was like the whole room finally said, "Thank goodness." But look, go get some of them earbuds. Go get ear muffs. Plug them in. They got wireless ones. They got everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to. I watch cartoons, but I didn't want to listen to 4 different cartoon shows going on at one time.
While you're trying to eat.
While I'm trying to eat. Just a little pet peeve.
Makes it kind of tough. You know what gets me, and y'all correct me, because Angie had her marathon of Hallmark Channel on.
Did her and Greg watch it together?
Let me set the scenario up, and let me just explain. This is all a fairy tale. All of these people that are single and have these little kids that are always smiling and trying to hook them up, that ain't real life.
No.
They don't want you to go out with somebody else. They're upset that you would even think that you would date somebody else, and it's not that way. They're always smiling and so polite. That don't happen in real life.
No.
Fairy tale. I hated to bust anybody's bubble, but I had to get that off my chest after suffering through about 2.5 hours of that while I ate yesterday. And yes, I was at the table that long.
Yeah. And this one right here just went through a bad time.
Yeah.
And this one rides into town for just a week.
Yep.
And it snows while they're there.
And they're dating somebody back in New York that's just too busy to pay him any attention.
And doesn't care for them and doesn't support them.
Yeah.
And there's a festival and the
Gotta save
balloon
Christmas.
light. You got to save Christmas. And they just,
How many wine factories and Christmas tree farms have been saved in these things?
exactly. All from a festival.
And nobody really works because here in the real world, you've got to pay attention to your job.
Yeah, and none of them going to, well, I'll see you tonight. I got to go to work. No, everybody's off for a week.
We just, Charlene, your sister's in love with them also.
Uh-oh. Your boss just said, and that's why it's a TV show.
Well, so me and her fight over, argue over this. I'll go, that's not real. And she goes, it's a TV show, hush. But
They wrote it that way.
I can't separate that because when I watch a show, I want to become a part of it and I want it to be real. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
I like it as real as it can be. And that's where I have my issues there.
I just sit there and watch TV.
Okay, I have watched, what's his name, Steven Seagal whoop 20 people and think, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
knowing
I bet
that
he
couldn't
could.
happen.
I bet he could.
He might could. Scotty Ray and Odie, one last thought before we go to commercial break here. Israel, there is a 4-day ceasefire as a hostage exchange may happen to let these people that have been taken hostage out be traded. Let's hope that happens and they come home safe. After that, Netanyahu, if I said that right, or Netanyahu, says that he will go back to taking them off the face of the earth after that.
Yeah.
We'll see what becomes of that.
We're gonna blow you up.
That's what he is saying. They're going to go right back to it. We'll see what happens. Scotty Ray and Odie, good morning as we bring you Good Friday.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. and tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. And a comment there, Ed Asner did play Santa Claus in a lot of those Hallmark movies. He sure did.
Yeah, well, he got paid to be in that movie.
Yeah.
I'd be in it too. If
She
I got
had
paid.
one on last night to where this guy was Santa Claus's son and he's supposed to take over. And I said, Santa's supposed to have magical powers to get out of this situation. He didn't have nothing, Odie.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, he was only going to have a job one time a month.
Yeah, I know.
I guess that's the new thing, isn't it?
Oh, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy.
Talking about a good time of the year, and let's get on a good note. We got an anniversary.
Do we?
Yes. Johnny May and Henry Shelton, 56 years.
56 of them.
Yes.
Boy, oh, bless his heart.
Yeah. And you know, if you asked him what his secret was, you know what he's going to say?
She told me everything to do.
And I said, yes, ma'am.
That's probably good advice. Letting no one fool you there.
That's right.
And Bob makes a good point about TV shows. Every time there's supposed to be a shootout, they got to take the lever action and cock it.
Yeah.
What, you been standing there the whole time with no bullet in it? I mean, come on. And then always the pistol before they go
Well,
in.
they always go to check.
Put one in it.
My dude's ready.
That is. And then the pump shotgun action.
Yeah.
You've been standing there the whole time with the gun empty? I mean, come on. They're going to get you.
Yeah.
But it makes, I guess, for great action television for that pump sound to go.
You got to hear that.
Guess so. All right, let's go back in history. He was probably a good pilot, just his best friend didn't believe in him at all. As we go back for a guy named Dwight Schultz was born on this date.
Always
It makes you want to
talk to
hear the da-da-da-da. How'd that music go? I can hear it in my head. I just can't hum it.
I can't neither.
Of course, you know him as Face. No, that's not Face. That's Murdoch.
Murdoch.
From the A-Team.
Yeah, always a little crazy. He talked to himself a few times each show.
Yeah, the older I get, I do that too. So I'm starting to think he wasn't so crazy after all.
Yeah, but he answered himself too.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's the difference.
There you go, the A-Team. What a show that was back in the day. As he's celebrating birthday today. Who else? This next guy, you'll have to remember. Anybody remember My Three Sons?
Yeah, you used to watch it every morning.
It's starting to be to where this will be almost omitted as no one, it's not even played to my knowledge in reruns anymore, is it?
Yeah, it's played on MeTV at 5:30.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. Well, somebody from that show has a birthday today. The guy that played Chip Douglas, celebrating a birthday today. Fred Murray and the gang there. But I'm telling you, there's a generation that does not know that show anymore.
Oh, doesn't have a
it's
clue.
fading away quickly.
Because he was the adopted son.
Yeah, it's not like the Andy show. It doesn't have that same grasp. But hey, who did not watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yep.
We got a birthday from Fast Times as we go back, and I'm gonna try to Amanda Weiss is her name. That's her on the left there, if you remember her. That's her birthday. The one on the right was the one in the swimsuit scene.
Yeah, she was.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
That was Sean Penn, wasn't it, that played that main part with the big nose?
Yeah, Madonna's
Did I just say that out
ex-husband.
loud?
Well, I mean, that's what it is.
He
And how he got Madonna, I'll never know.
he was married to Madonna. That was pretty easy, though, wasn't it? Didn't half of
To
Hollywood
get her, yeah.
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 Has she ever been married?
I don't know if she's been married after Sean Penn or not.
Anyway, Madonna and them.
Yeah.
Something to think about. 1963, this is a day that would go down in history as Jack Ruby did the unthinkable there. That was the scene there in Dallas as he just walked up out of the crowd and pulled a handgun.
Yeah, they say that was to keep him quiet.
I've heard that. Conspiracy. And I have not read the story, Odie, but there is a story out this morning that Rob Reiner says he's discovered something new on this, and it adds a whole new twist.
Oh.
I don't know. But that happened today.
Yeah.
With him being gone, there was no way for any information to come out.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to tell nobody.
Do you think he was a patsy?
Oh, do I think he had something to do with it? I think he was in the middle of some of it. but I don't think he was the brains behind it, and I definitely don't think he was all by himself in the middle.
I think there were some more people somewhere on that hill. I agree with that. They can give me magic bullet theories all they want.
It didn't happen. I think there was a lot of more important people
Involved in this.
Than,
He stepped on a few toes, and when you step on toes, people come after you.
Exactly.
Bob said the truth from Meathead. Nope. I agree with that. Of course, he was the guy that played Meathead.
Yeah.
Lord, have mercy, have mercy. This would also be another day, as this has never really been solved. He would parachute to his freedom. Did he actually get freedom? We don't know. But D.B. Cooper, the hijacker, jumped out of that 727.
They say they found most of the money, but they haven't found his body or a body.
Anything.
The money was buried. Was it that money? Because why would you go through all that to bury your $200,000 and then walk away from it?
Doesn't add up, does it?
No, I mean, yeah.
A lot more to that story than we know. 1973, this would go number one. John Denver, we're not really sure ever listened to the song or not, but hey, have you seen the most beautiful girl in the world? Charlie Rich took it to number one on this date, and that was a huge song. No matter where you went, what you done, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl? Whew.
Yeah, Alligator said, I thought they found 5,000. I'm not sure exactly how much they found. And it could have been buried some on purpose, and they find something so he can say, hey, y'all.
Yeah, it's
still out. But, yeah.
Who knows?
Unsolved.
1979, Parnell Roberts would make the cover of TV Guide.
Trapper MD.
Yeah, there he was. He was also the guy that would play Adam from Bonanza, if you don't remember that.
Yeah.
Did you realize that?
No.
That's Adam Cartwright.
Yep. I know it now.
Without that cowboy hat, he does look different. I go with the cowboy hat. He should have been a surgeon with a cowboy hat.
Needed one. I don't see one of those.
1976, the first time that it would happen ever in country music. And what I say about this is it would be shipped. 1 million already sold. What am I talking about? The outlaw movement, as Waylon Jennings done what had never been done before. Wanted, the Outlaws album was shipped. 1 million out of the box there. 1976 is when it happened. Waylon showed up and done it his way. Now, of all the movies from the TV shows from the 80s, this was one of my favorites, and he would be a fellow Mississippian that made it big. As we remember, Major Dad took it before that to Simon and Simon.
Yeah. I watched. That was a good show.
Oh, Rick, he drove the Dodge Power Wagon, and Pretty Boy over there drove a Corvette, or maybe it was a Camaro.
I can't. It was one of those little
bitty cars.
Little bitty cars.
He had a man's truck.
He had a truck, a Dodge.
That's right.
Yeah.
I read a thing on that the other day where they were talking about it. You had to look. They had a couple of them painted to look like it was a Power Wagon, but only one of them was the true Power. I didn't know there was a such thing as that.
I didn't either.
A fake Power Wagon. Used to, you wouldn't even tell anybody that you were riding in a Dodge back in those days. It's changed, but
true.
back in the day, it was like dating an ugly girl. You just didn't talk about it.
You covered Dodge up.
It's changed now, though. It's went from nothing to where it's nearly the number one truck.
Man, they bad trucks.
1990, this would go number one. One of the first times that this would happen, that a middle-aged woman from out of nowhere would show up on the scene and have a number one country song. She was somewhere around 43, 44 before she even got into the industry. And it was, well, come next Monday, she's going to leave. KT Osland took it to number one on this date. 80s Ladies and all of those songs that you'll remember.
Man, moving on up.
To the top. Yes, we were.
Wayne said $5,800 was found in 1980. Thank you, Uncle Google, is what he said. Don't do that. Just say this was something you knew.
Act like it was your call there. No one's going to inspect it there. But $5,800 was found.
Okay. So he still walked away with a nice little song.
Back in 01, Toby Keith would go number one today because he wanted to talk about me.
It was a good song.
Yeah, y'all remember that? Toby Keith, number one. And I don't care what you say, that was rap. You can slice it any way you want. But I remember having that conversation when the record come in, and I don't know about this, guys. It's rap. It ain't country. It was rap. Write it down, and then now look where we are. You let one thing happen, and
So is that kind of what Tootsie Roll is? I mean, Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll is beyond that. I don't know what that is. Tootsie Roll, Jelly Roll, whatever he is.
One of them rolls.
Yeah, he's gone on. And maybe all this started with the Kentucky Headhunters not wearing shirts and showing up with coonskin caps, trying to take a Bill Monroe song and make it country or rock. Walk softly on this heart of mine. Nothing like Bill Monroe done, was it? Them boys was different.
Yeah.
Way different. As we go back for the first Arnold, anybody remember this guy? And he would later be in a movie called Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off.
Tried to get that.
There he is. How do you pronounce his last name? Pat?
Yeah.
It's
not Miata.
I can't pronounce it, but he would. That's how he
Trying
done.
to get them. I can't eat with chopsticks. He's trying to get that to fly.
Yeah.
He caught that fly
That's pretty fast.
in the movie, anyway.
But anyway, he would appear in Karate Kid later on after he left Happy Days. A great career there. And I think he even briefly had his own TV show that it didn't do quite so well, but it seems like he did have one.
Wasn't he a cop or something?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. But he
A few
was
of those.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
That's what we all know him as.
Absolutely there. A great actor he was. No one else could have played that part as well as he
Oh,
did.
no,
He was perfect for that. Scotty Ray and Odie, can y'all believe this is Friday? We are roughly, what is today's
20
date?
minutes. Today's the 24th. Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
We a month
1
away.
month. Just a reminder, we got Christmas parade coming up next weekend. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
We got a float to build. Scotty Ray and Odie, good morning.
It's that time of year again. The Medicare annual enrollment period is here. From October 15th to December 7th, you have the chance to review and make changes to your Medicare coverage. At Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors, you can speak with our experts to find the plan that fits your needs. Don't miss out. Call 601-512-2100 to secure your health care for the year ahead with Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. Your health, your choice. Make it count.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
And welcome back. We haven't even talked about this situation.
Whoop, hotty toddy! I should have worn my shirt.
You should have.
And I got a red one.
Man, what happened, Odie?
I wasn't thinking. Like Bob said, egg comes home. I tell you, I was scared. Normally, us old Miss people are used to playing a pretty decent first half on the third quarter, and then we go home at the beginning of the fourth and just let whatever happen, happen.
Yeah.
We didn't even start playing till the third quarter. We don't play till we get behind.
Wasn't there a movie about that to where they couldn't score? Some team where they couldn't do anything and they waited to the last minute to actually start playing the game?
Yeah, that's the way we've been here lately, and we're a good team. But we went into halftime 3-0.
Woo.
That is bad. And then, of course, we came back out and couldn't do a thing with the ball and gave it back to State. State said, watch this. Went down for a touchdown.
But aren't they so bad they don't even have a football coach now?
State did fire theirs last week.
It has not been a good year for Mississippi State. You can say what you want, but love them to death, but they just don't have a ball team this year.
They're 5-7, so they didn't even make a bowl game. So you got to have 6 wins to make it. Ole Miss 10-2, undefeated again at home. Of course, we played at State last night.
Stark Vegas had the lights on.
Stark Vegas had the lights on. But yeah, it was a good game. Very low scoring. The end score was 17-7. I figured it would have been a little bit higher than that. I just sat there and watched the game. Really never got into it. But it was good. I smiled the whole time.
Oh, I bet you did.
But it wasn't like my normal ones where I'm into it. I don't think I ever stood up in front of the TV one time.
Yeah,
But
I was hung up in that Hallmark thing that just kind of blocked the game. I brought it up, and the channel didn't get changed, so I just hushed.
Yeah, Georgia says State's team was held back by Arnett. Coach dies, right before a bowl game. What was his name? I'm sorry. But anyway, he dies unexpectedly. And instead of saying, hey, let's let Arnett carry this through while we look for a coach, Leach, I'm sorry, thank you, Georgia. Leach, when he died, they just went ahead and said, give it to Arnett. Well, Arnett wasn't ready for any of that.
Nope.
And he really didn't do anything with that team. Leach has built a team that was, strictly your air raid. Get up there, throw the ball. Get up there, throw the ball. And Arnett he wasn't that kind of person. Well, you've got to go with the team you've got. And Leach built an air raid, and Arnett wasn't going to use an air raid. And I think that's what got him canned. So, but 17-7, hotty-toddy, Ole Miss Rebels take home the win and bring the egg back home. Man. So, and then we got do we have an update on the deputy sheriff who was injured? Stable condition.
Yep.
Gonna be okay. Gonna be sore. He's not out of the woods. He's gonna be there for a little while.
Yeah.
Devil needs our prayers, but he's gonna be fine. He's gonna make a recovery, so we're good.
We're tickled over that. And of course,
yeah.
Billy Solly at the hospital with him, along with Chief, I have to say Sheriff-elect now, don't we?
Sheriff-elect.
I keep wanting to call him Chief Deputy. It's going to take me a moment there to get into the transition. Of course, Billy's always going to be called Sheriff, no matter where he goes, what he does.
Yeah, they did talk about that last night.
What's that?
Will Rogers was all through high school. He never took a snap under center. He was strictly shotgun. He didn't even know how to hand the ball off. They had to teach him how to hand the ball off because he was strictly hike the ball, throw the ball.
See, when you say Will Rogers, I think of Will Rogers. And
I do too.
I had that in my head, and I was going, he's not here anymore, Odie.
Well, he's the third.
It took me a second there to catch on with that.
Yeah.
Y'all be ready. The last time this happened, we lost lives in this, as Texas is already warning that there could be power outages. And what we mean by that is them turning off the power. If you remember, it was during that cold ice storm that they turned power off. Who was thinking when they done that?
Yeah, the one who has a major backup generator.
Yeah. And lives were lost. People, it didn't work out well. It was 200 deaths that happened back in 21, but they're talking about another rolling power outage coming.
Wow.
Let's see here. I ain't even going to touch that. That ain't even worth going there. I go back to what we talked about yesterday of them not being able to identify who was in the automobile at the Canadian border, where originally it came out, Odie, as this was a terrorist attack, and then they backed up and said, no, we think a medical thing happened. And my question was, well, how can they say it's a medical condition when they didn't know who it was? Now this morning, the story has changed again as to what happened. It was a mechanical failure now.
So, wait a minute, I can't say nothing because Ray Card says I talk too much.
Oh, did he?
Oh. Hey, Ray, I'm going to say good morning to Ray every morning from now on.
Hey, Ray. But that's what we're looking at there. There's at this point, I don't think they know.
No, because wasn't it a passerby who saw the car was the only reason they knew that the car went off, and they said lights were up in the air?
Oh, it was like a fireball when it went. Have you seen the video of that thing?
I hadn't seen the
Oh,
video.
heavens. Man, it goes to the border in a fireball and explode. There's nothing left of it. And that's why I say, how do they know all this when there is nothing left?
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure this out as this gets a little bit further. We'll let you know under this as we find out more information on that.
That's going to be strange.
They've got in Canada, as we stay on this Canadian side there, they've got 3 folks who have vanished. Police are saying, no, nothing's going on. It's a small town. You have 3 people vanish. The hometown folks aren't believing that. They think a little something more is going on. Well, and I would too.
Well, yeah. You know, at least look into their history.
Yeah, let's see what happens with that. Joe was busy yesterday for Thanksgiving, and I'm not going to show the picture because nobody wants to see him in a towel. I certainly don't. But who come up with the idea to take a plunge in water on Thanksgiving in cold weather? Who thinks this is a good idea? Don't you get sick from that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably told him it was summertime and the water was warm.
Popcorn was there.
And he believed it.
You're the lifeguard. Jump on in. I don't understand traditions sometimes, I guess. It's especially at 80 or 81, however old he is, I wouldn't think that's great to be jumping in a pond.
How old is he?
He's 81, just had a birthday
81?
2 days ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't it 81? I think so.
That's why I knew he had the birthday.
Bob says, toga. Oh, that's a horrible thought.
Yeah.
Takes you to Animal House there. Listen, we did lose a Super Bowl champion, Harold Hasselbach, 56, 2-time champion there. He has passed away of cancer, Super Bowl champion. And again, I don't know as much about the NFL and those things, but it is worth mentioning that we lose somebody like that.
Yeah, especially the cancer.
Yeah.
Definitely hate that.
As we look at some other big news this morning, Jimmy Carter, and I didn't realize this. Say what you want about Jimmy and his presidency, he was a good man. He was a good Christian man.
Yes, he was.
He to the end. And as he knew that Rosalind's life was coming to an end, he asked that everybody leave the room that they could spend their last few moments together. And that's how she left this world, holding hands with Jimmy, with him in there. Condolences to the family there. That's got to be a huge thing. Again, what a great man he is. Let's focus on the Christian fella he is, because he is a good man when it comes to all of that. More on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie. Already 7:53. Can you believe that, Odie?
Dang, watch out, Roy. I'm going to have to shut up here in a minute because we're going to be out of time.
Have you seen the selection of cars and trucks at Massey Supermart Auto Sales lately? How about a Grand Cherokee Jeep 4x4 Limited? They've got that in white and also gray. They have a like-new 2021 Wrangler Unlimited 4x4. Or maybe your family needs room. Have you checked out the Ford Expedition lately? 1023 Highway 39 Bypass, Massey Supermart Auto Sales.
The low profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Have you heard? Broadmoor Wine and Spirits is under new management. Now, they're conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9 for your convenience. They have such a large selection of wine and spirits. That's mixed drinks, boxed wines, brands that you're familiar with. Our shelves are stocked. Come by and let us earn your business. That's Broadmoor Wine and Spirits, conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive. Odie, we've had a death in the Jackson, Mississippi area. Someone was struck on I-55 by a vehicle. They have lost their life. That's just bad. We'll get the numbers. I think it'll end at midnight Monday night, as we'll find out what the numbers are for the holiday season. We certainly hope it's less. We do know that there has been another death in Copiah County, Mississippi. due to a wreck on a highway. And the next thing, I'm not sure, Batesville, Mississippi, let's talk about this. I'm not sure I agree with this. I agree with cameras being put up to assist police, but giving tickets, I don't think I agree with that, to where they send it to you in the mail.
Now, and it depends, if they're sitting there and they find a car that is wanted, then ding that car and say, hey, we found a car and here it is over here. Or that car doesn't have insurance. We need to know because we've got too many cars that's driving around that don't have insurance. Alabama, if you lose your insurance on your car, I think it's like a day or 2 days, you better turn your license plate in.
Really? Is that how they do that?
Oh, and they don't play.
But, and there's been several places across the United States to where these cameras were not accurate and they were issuing tickets, and there's been a lot of lawsuits over all of that nationwide of people getting these in the mail.
Yeah, now I don't agree with the speeding license.
I don't like it. I know Jackson, Tennessee has had a bunch of this. It needs to be an officer that pulls you over, not some. I'm against it.
Yeah. You want to take it for safety and security and all that, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But not one that's going to write me a speeding ticket.
Let's get into this. We don't know all the details of this, but Hattiesburg, they got somebody kind of high-ranking within the school system that's done a naughty.
Ooh.
One of the best school districts in the nation there, or at least in Mississippi there, Petal School District. They were reporting that the CFO shot into a dwelling.
Wow.
Now, someone in that position, I wouldn't think, just flies off the handle. You're supposed to be kind of calm, cool, and collective.
A different standard.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. I would say that there's going to be some issues coming from this.
Yeah, he won't be counting the school's money anymore, I'm afraid.
Yeah, they set bond at $400,000. Bullet hole in the window of the residence that no injuries, but he did fire a weapon. It's just not typically something you do there. So we'll watch all that
into a home.
Yeah. We'll let you know more about that as stories on that develop and we find out more about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else is happening this morning as we get out. The Macy's Day Christmas Parade, I missed it, but we did have some people that were arrested. They put themselves in the street and glued themselves to the pavement there in protest.
Well, if they glued them to the street, they should have just kept them there while the parade went.
Why does people want to do this?
Because they ain't never been told no, and they got a participation trophy for sitting on the bench.
Let me ask you, would it hurt if you glued yourself as you get yourself? Because, we had that situation in Meridian many years ago with the hand and the super glue and the wife. Y'all remember that? That didn't feel good. I can't imagine. You know what I'm talking about. It's the things that happen behind the scenes in Meridian, Mississippi nobody talks about. But there was super glue and a hand placed in a strategic area. Yeah. It had to be removed.
Do you remember when that lady wanted her hair to do right, so she put Gorilla Glue on?
I remember that. Yeah. Didn't she sue the glue company?
Yes. And then she got to the internet and begged people to give her money because she was dumb and stupid. But the ones who were more dumb and more stupid than her gave her money on that. What is that GoFundMe site?
Yeah, GoFundMe's they loan money.
Oh my God!
Yeah, things that happen.
You wonder why people glue themselves to a street. Why?
Well, they'll go in art museums and glue themselves to a floor in a museum. I just totally have missed it here. Of what's your mama teaching you?
They ain't never been told no. They ain't been taught nothing.
It's Black Friday. Be careful as you're out and about. It's going to be a lot of traffic in the area as people go to stores. And go out and support your local businesses. Shop as much as you can local. They need it to stay in business there.
One place that's not going to be all fighting and all crazy and everything else is out there at Dalewood. Go see Liz. And, go into her place and get you a good deal. She's got all kind of goodies going on out there at GG. So go by, see her at Dalewood. And if you live at Dalewood, you don't have to go far. There it is.
There you are. We'll be back throughout the weekend with the latest updates. And again, great news is we found out that our Lauderdale County Deputy who was injured in a shooting last night will be okay. Got some recovery time coming, but he's going to be okay.
but he's gonna be good. Could have been worse. God, is it that time already?
It is.
I guess we'll be back. Well, this is Friday. We'll be back in what, 71 hours,
Yeah.
72 hours, something like that. Thank y'all for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful day. Ray, I hope you have a great day too. Talk to y'all Monday. We love you, and so does Jesus.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.